KCTV5 is your back-to-school authority, and we're working to get answers on how state officials will safely reopen schools.
Today, Governor Mike Parson was in town to speak with local superintendents. Our Casey Jones is in North Kansas City with more on what happened during that meeting.
The governor had a private meeting with 10 area superintendents here earlier today. As many school districts prepare to start the year virtually, some rural and urban schools are still working to make sure all students have access to the internet at home. With more than 48,000 COVID-19 cases and more than 1,200 deaths, Missouri is now considered a red zone.
I think everybody understands that. The virus is here. We're going to have to deal with it.
Governor Mike Parson touring the state to talk about reopening plans for schools. Many schools will start online. In a meeting with 10 local districts, the governor expressed concerns.
I am extremely worried about kids low income, in poverty situation, and kids with disabilities. That could be very easily some kids that get left out of the system. Many kids will have the ability to go virtual, that have the ability to do that, but there's going to be a lot of kids out there that will not.
A growing need Carrie Coogan with Kansas City Library has been trying to address even before the pandemic.
Can you imagine not being able to access the internet, and now suddenly your entire educational livelihood depends on it?
Earlier this year, Governor Parson cut more than $130 million from the state education budget. Since then, officials have identified more than $60 million in CARES Act funding. A memo from the Department of Education shows schools will be eligible for at least $30 million to address connectivity needs.
I still think it's going to boil down to families and students needing access. And that, when I say access, it's not just the plans and the provider. It's the affordability of an equitable access plan, which means high-speed internet.
Parson says he will work toward bridging the digital divide.
And we've got to figure out, how do we outreach to them? What are the schools doing? What am I doing as governor to connect to those people?
As district officials apply for that CARES Act funding, digital inclusion advocates say you can help by donating to organizations like Connecting for Good. That organization works to give computers and internet access to families who need it. Reporting from North Kansas City, Casey Jones, KCTV5 News.